Hi friends, it's Lorraine with Rags to Stitches USA. Today is Saturday, September 2nd, and I think I'm back in record time. I don't know that I've ever made two videos this close together, so I wanted to thank you guys for being so kind to watch my videos. I put out a plea on my last video asking for you to watch all the way to the end and go back and even watch some old ones if you would, because I am trying to up the amount of viewing hours that my channel has in an effort to minimize the amount of ads that are popping up on my videos. A lot of you said that no ads showed up on my last video, and for that I'm very thankful, very thankful. I have had others though that did have issues with it, so I am still fighting this. So if you haven't done so, please subscribe. That does help somehow with the algorithms, and subscribe, like, comment, all that stuff. But I do thank you very much. And so as a promise on my end, I had said that I would be back with more content, and so I'm back. I have a little bit to show you. There were some things that I didn't show you on the last video. There are some things that I've kind of been a monogamous stitcher a little bit. Not really monogamous, but I've not worked on as many different whips as I typically do. I like to have a lot of whips going. I'm not ashamed to admit that. I do have a lot of whips, but I have a couple of pieces that I really want to get finished in a short period of time here. I had been working on Colorado Cross Stitcher's summer camp, and her August piece was to work on something different. So I chose to do a drum because I'd never stitched a drum before. So I was using a piece that I had gotten from the retreat at Country Sampler, and it was an exclusive from Blackbird Designs called the Morning Bird. And I had shown you in that last video. So this is the drum that we stitch, and then we also received this little bird cage to put it in. So I thought that that would be a good choice for the August summer camp piece. And I got very close to finishing it, but I didn't finish it. I'll just be honest. I think this is the first time I did not complete all 3 months of camp. But you know, life happens. And I came so close. So this is where I am on Morning Bird. So I finished the drum part, the part that goes around. I did complete that, and I love it. I just think it's so pretty. You know what, now that I'm saying that, I don't think I did complete it, because some of these flowers have little 3 little stitches, and I did not go in and put those 3 little stitches on those flowers. I'm just looking at this from the back and realizing I didn't do that. And then this is the top of the drum, excuse me, and it has a year here, and I did not finish all the colors on the bird. But I think other than that, I came really close, So this one should be finished by the time I visit with you guys again. The stitching should be finished. I don't know that I will have it finished into a drum at that point, but the stitching should be finished because I'm really close. So I think I did mention to you in the last video that I've got a lot of retreats I'm going to this month, or before the end of the year anyway. And you know, I have all these grand ideas of things that I'm going to get finished at the various retreats, and then I wind up talking a lot. One thing I enjoy the most about going to retreats is visiting with my friends. So I can stitch at home. I can't visit with those friends at home. So if I get stitching done at the retreats, that's great. That's kind of a bonus for me. So I don't know how much stitching I will get done, and If I get it done, that's great. If not, I will enjoy visiting with my friends. Another thing that I wanted to show you guys was, I'll show it to you now. I have not, here again, I have not fully finished it. I have finished it, but I haven't fully finished it. And this was a piece that I did for one of the guilds that I belong to. This was, they call it their magic piece, my annual good intentions contract. You make a contract with yourself that you're gonna get a certain thing done. And so this was a piece that I worked on. And you know, I don't know that I brought the, yes I did too. This was a piece that I received at the Silver Needle when I went to their retreat in, I think it was November of last year. And this is Anna Marie's pocket from La Di Da. Here again, this was an exclusive, I think, for the retreat. And so I loved it. As soon as Lori gave these out, I absolutely fell in love with it. And I started stitching it at the retreat, which is something I don't often do. But I loved it, and I knew immediately that I wanted to make this my magic piece for my guild. And so Cheryl, my friend Cheryl, was there with me, and she got hers too, and she started on hers too. So I started at the bottom and worked my way up this way, and Cheryl started at the top and worked down that way. And I think we both have them finished now. So as you can see, this is the stitched part, but then you fold this part over and this part down, and it makes this little pocket here. So this is my pocket. So there's a little snap that will go right in here. And then I swapped out one of the motifs, two of the motifs here. If you can see in the original, there's a man and a woman there. And so I decided to change mine out. She had some other motifs in the pattern. She had some motifs that you could swap out. And so I put the pair of scissors and the little heart in the hand. That's what I put in place of the man and the woman. And I really like that. So then it comes on down, and it looks like this is upside down with my initials and the year, but remember, this is going to be folded up like this, and then this part's going to come down. No, that doesn't make sense. Oh yeah, just this part. Something like that. Anyway, I love it. I think it's beautiful. I'm excited to get it done. Oh, I know what it is. Okay, so this is a pocket. That's what it is. This is a pocket that comes up and it's stitched. Well, you're not gonna be upset. And then you're gonna fold this up and this over. There we go. So it'll be cute. It's gonna be cute when it's finished. Oh my goodness. So Cheryl and I are also going to be going on another retreat. It's just a fairly local retreat, and we're going to take our sewing machines with us, and we're each going to fully finish our pockets. So it's not often that I fully finish anything. So I'm kind of excited to get this one done. I didn't show you. Oh, as I was stitching on this one night, watching TV with my hubby, we like to have a cup of coffee in the evenings. It does not keep me awake. I can drink coffee and go straight to bed. Doesn't bother me a bit. I can't take Excedrin past 2 o'clock in the afternoon or I'm wide awake, but I can drink coffee. So I was sitting there enjoying my frou-frou cup of coffee that had all the creamers and, you know. And he asked me to toss him the remote or something. And I had that cup of coffee in my hand and I tossed him the remote and both hands went up and I spilled that coffee on this piece. I was so upset at myself. And so if you look really hard, see there around the bottom, you can see where the coffee is spilled. And I got a rag, a cloth right away, and I dabbed at the liquid. But I was afraid to dunk it in water because this is a hand-dyed piece of linen. And so I didn't want to, oh, that's showing up real well. So I didn't want to wash this and then potentially rinse out the coloring of the linen. So I'm hoping that when I turn this under and for the finishing, if anything shows up at all, it's going to be very little of it. That's what I'm hoping. And if not, as my daughter says, that's just a part of the story. That's just a part of its history. So there you go. Hopefully the next time, I'm trying to think. I'm not sure if I will have this finished, fully finished by the next time I do a video or not. I'm really gonna try to do a video every 2 weeks. So in 2 more weeks, so I haven't flipped my calendar around, it will be the weekend of maybe the 16th, 17th, something like that. I may have it finished by then. I can't remember. I just can't remember the dates of all of these things that I'm going to. But anyway, it's gonna be cute. Okay, one of the pieces that I'm working on a lot is His Eyes on the Sparrow from Heartstring Samplery. That is going to be my focus piece. That's my piece that I'm doing for the other guild that I'm a part of. We have something called our journey piece. And so this was my journey piece for my Sampler Guild of Georgia. And I think I showed this to you on the last video. I'm pretty sure I did. And I was still working, I think I was working up in here doing something. I'm trying to remember where I was. I think I may have been working on that squirrel, and I think I may have been working up in here. And since then, I went ahead and committed and put my initials and the day and the year, put it in there. So I've got to get it finished this year. I'm really hoping to get it finished this month. Not just this year, but this month. So I think I have the entire top portion finished to where it says His Eyes on the Sparrow, and I know He watches me. I think I've got all of that finished. So now I'm working in this section. I think I worked on that. I'm still in the process of working that. I'm a part of a bunch of challenge groups. I love me a challenge. I love a good challenge group. I don't care if I win, quote win or not, but it really holds me accountable. And that's what I like, because sometimes I get home and all day long at work, I keep thinking, I can't wait till I get home and stitch. I can't wait till I can get home and stitch. And then I get home and I'm whooped, I'm tired, and I just don't want to pick up my stitching and stitch. Once I do pick it up and stitch, I love it, and I'm glad I did it, and I don't know why I didn't pick it up. So these challenge groups kind of hold my feet to the fire, and especially the ones that I have to do something every day. Like there's I belong to a North Alabama stitching group, and they have a bingo board, and they call out a different number every day. And so every day I know I need to get that little prompt finished. And I've only committed to 100 stitches, which you can whip out 100 stitches in no time. But then once I start stitching, I'm glad that I did. And I usually will do about 300 stitches. So, so that's what I'm doing. I'm going to finish this little section up of Sparrow, and hopefully get that done this month. I have to turn it in next month at our guild meeting in October. So I really think that I can do that, don't y'all? I mean, it's not too much. So the one side is pretty much mirrored. Let me see if I can show you. Where's the middle? Okay, so like there's a bird over here and a bird here, and a flower there and a flower there, and that bird and that bird. So I've got to do this flower and that little animal and that bird. And so I've got to do those in here. And I've got to do this big pot of flowers over here. And I've got to do that peacock. The big thing is going to be this big bird right here. And I think I mentioned that before. I'm going to try to get him outlined over here so that when I go to some of these retreats, I can just fill him in. So that is still my plan. I just haven't done the outlining yet. That is my plan, to get that done before I leave for one of these retreats. Another one that I worked on just a little bit. This is Sampler September. Yes, Sampler September. And I know there's a Sampler September hashtag or a Sampler Soiree hashtag. And one is if you're working on a reproduction sampler, and one is if you're just working on a sampler that's not a reproduction. And honestly, I can't remember which one's which. But my plan is to work on samplers all month long. I have plenty of samplers to work on all month long. And so some are reproduction and some are not. So I'll be doing both the Sampler September and Sampler Soiree. I hope I'm getting those right. So one of them that I worked on recently was Maria Finney, 1832, Adam and Eve's house. I love an Adam and Eve sampler. I really do. This is by Shakespeare's Peddler. I love this one. And so I don't have a huge start on it, but I do have a start nonetheless. There you go. I love the color of this linen. And if I could think of the name of it, I would tell you, but I don't have it written down here. So maybe by the time when I make my next video, I'll try to remember to include that. I don't think I have a tag on here. I don't. But I do love that color. Let's see. It's called for Straw by Weeks Dye Works. That could be what this is. That really could be this one. I'm not real sure. But it's pretty. I love the colors of it. The colors are pretty subtle. So I will probably be working on that one some this month. If I finish, my thought is I'm going to work primarily on His Eyes on the Sparrow. And then once I finish that, I'm going to work on, and I didn't even bring this one in here. There was a piece that I was working on that was my 30-minute a day piece. And I'm ready to just get that thing knocked out. I'm getting close to the end of it, and so I'm ready to knock it out. So when I finish Sparrow, I will probably put Sarah Monday sampler in its place, and I will work on it until I get it finished. And then after that, I will kind of work on an assortment of samplers that I have. I have another one here called Elizabeth Chester's 1843. This is from the Cross Stitch Antiques. It was a mother-daughter duet. And we received this in one of my guilds, kind of as a workshop piece. Kathleen Littleton did a kind of a workshop for our guild, and she spoke. And so we received this to work on, but we only got one of the two. So I don't know if both of them are supposed to be included in this, or if only one is charted. I'm not really sure, but we're working on I'm assuming we're working on the mother, which is Elizabeth Chester. So here is Elizabeth. She's not very big, as you can see. I didn't iron it, I'm sorry. She's not very big, but I've got a decent start on that top of the alphabet. Let's see, this says that it's worked on, wait a minute, I have a tag. 36 Count Eureka by Fox and Rabbit. That is what this one is. So this one will probably get worked on this month during Sampler September. And I have enjoyed that one. Another one that I was working on, I've just barely got to start, but I've got to start. and it's called Lenten Rose. This is another sampler that we received at the Country Sampler when I went to that retreat. And this is by Samplers Not Forgotten. And I started on it a little bit while I was up in, oh, you can't even really tell a whole lot. But here again, I love this linen. I absolutely love this linen. And I got just a little bit of a start on the border. Not much. But I will probably put enough stitches in this one that you can actually see what it's going to be like a little bit. She actually gave us several charts that are going to be made using this linen. It's a big old piece of linen. And so I'd started working on the border so that I could kind of see how much space that I had to work on not only the sampler, but she also gave us, excuse me, a drum kit and a little pin pillow, scissor fob, I don't know what you would, pin pillow, I guess. So I will probably work on that one a little bit. Heaven knows I've got plenty of samplers that I can work on. For Sampler September, a little one that I finished. I don't know that I don't think I showed you this one. Maybe I did. I think maybe I showed you this. The little for summer camp, Colorado Cross Stitcher. This was my, I think my June or July, little pin cushion from Samplers Not Forgotten. So I'm hoping that when I go on the retreat and finish my my little pocket, Anna Marie's pocket, maybe I can get this one finished as well. All right, one last thing that I'll show you real quick is, and this is not, I don't know that you would call this a sampler. It's Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow. I don't know, I guess you could call this a sampler. I'm not sure. But there is a group of local stitchers here, and we have a Hawk Run Hollow group. So you have to be either working on Hawk Run Hollow or have completed a Hawk Run Hollow to come and work in this group. It's a fun group of girls. So I started on just this section here. I'm going to do mine individually, and I'm not going to do all of the squares. But I started on this one, and I was really close to a finish. So I knew when I went to this last meetup that we had a couple of weeks ago, I thought, well, I'll get that one whipped out. And so I go to work on it and realize I left all my thread at home. The thread for this particular block, I'd left that thread at home. So I didn't get to work on it on this particular block, but I'm so close to a finish. I probably got less than 50 stitches, probably 25 stitches left to go in this one. And so this is going to be the next block that I'm going to be stitching. And so since I didn't have the threads for this one, I've already put all of the threads on a big old ring binder of all the threads. So I had the other flosses that I needed. So I went ahead and started on that block and got a decent start on my next block. I'm going to do 6 blocks, and they're going to be on different colored linens. And I'm going to sew them all together, and I think there'll be 3 and 3. Elizabeth Anzalone did that in our group, and it is just gorgeous. So I'm going to unashamedly copy her because it is beautiful. I love it. So that's what I'm going to do with my Hawk Run Hollow. I recently got to participate in an auction where one of our local friends here passed away recently, and she had so much cross-stitch stuff, so much. And so recently her family was auctioning off a few of her belongings, and I bought a box of charts, paid a shameful small amount for this box of charts. It just didn't go for much at all. And there was so much goodness in that box. So much goodness. I'm excited to get to show you some of those as I start stitching on those. Some were kits, some had fabric with it, some had silks with it, some had hand-dyed flosses, and others were just charts. But as I mentioned before, I love me a good Adam and Eve chart. Love Adam and Eve charts, samplers. But there was an Adam and Eve sampler in that box that I had never seen before. And I think it's very interesting and very unique, but it's one that I know I will not stitch. So I thought I would offer it to you guys. We are 25 minutes into this video, and if you have made it this far, thank you. Thank you. You're doing what I had asked. You've watched it all the way through. So thank you. So as a thank you, I would like to send someone this chart. If you are interested, if you think that you would stitch it, you know what, let me just get it out of the plastic, because she's a unique one. It's called Before the Fall, and it's from Tempting Tangles Designs. And I just want you to look at Adam and Eve. Oh, they just cracked me up. Look at that hair. They are having a ball. And this is before the fall. And my husband says, well, that's not accurate because they've got on clothes. And they would not have been wearing clothes before the fall. But, you know, the designer takes creative liberties. You know, what can I say? But I had just never seen an Adam and Eve sampler quite like that one before. I think it's fun. So if you are interested in stitching this, just comment, make a comment, and you don't have to use a special word or anything. Just say, I would love to do, or you can even say fall. Maybe I'll look for that word, fall. You do need to be a subscriber in order to get this. So if you haven't subscribed before now, please do that. And I will be happy to send that to you. So we are almost at 30 minutes, and that's kind of like where I like to end my video. So again, thank you guys so very much for all of the sweet, encouraging words. And I can't tell you how much it means to me. So thank you. And I will be back in a couple of weeks and show you some of the stuff I've been working on and maybe tell you about some of the retreats I've attended. So until I see you again, God bless.